Hey, MarkKing here, and here's a story I just found on just random websites. I guess I can't remember this one. Get Pocket sounds like something from the Yahoo. I have no idea. It was an interesting article. Nonsense. I guess it's from Inverse and it's by Peter Hess. But anyway, psychologists reveal why it's harmful to keep calling millennials entitled. So might as well have a good laugh at this nonsense. So let's see. What did this pretentious nonsense have to say? Anyone who's read or watched the news the past 5 years has some version of the same message. Millennials are ruining everything, including Buffalo Wild Wings. True. Diamonds. True. Even nightlife. True. Okay. Anyway, whether or not this is bad rap is deserved. New research of 2,553 people, the journal PLOS, not familiar with one, shows that millennials believe that they're told about themselves and that's doing no harm. It's not doing harm. See, in reality, right? If you don't call out the problem, it'll never be solved. That's the thing. If you continue to hide the problem, it never gets solved. This is why, look, when the newspapers don't publish who commits the crimes, if the newspaper don't commit who's the victims, you'll never solve the problem. You're always passing the blame, and then you'll try to strawman an argument in sexism or racism, okay? You have to be honest, okay? In the paper published in May 2019, a team of researchers presented evidence that millennials believe they're the most entitled and narcissistic. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. When you don't have to deal with real world wars, when you don't have to deal with any hardships, this is the outcome, you know? Full of feminism, full of identity politics. The study first author Joshua Grubbs, PhD, assistant professor of psych at Bowling Green University, tells Inverse that his research was motivated, among other reasons, by the fact that even though scientists haven't diminished that millennials or any worse than previous generations, millennials have found guilt of entitlement. Yeah, okay, alright. Primarily, I'm a millennial and I've always been perturbed by the characterization of my generation as, oh boy, this guy sounds like a leftist nut. Let's see. Secondly, if the even in the field of psychology, this conclusion that millennials or Gen Z are the most narcissistic and entitled generation is highly controversial. Yet, the court of public opinion. I'm trying to think of the court of public opinion. I think so, especially from the right. I think they point out how spoiled millennials are, and it's true. They kind of like tilting towards communism a bit. They seem to want socialism, seem to be on board with free money, but it's also the generation isn't getting hired. You know, it's a double-edged sword, unfortunately. You know, I know many friends of mine just given up on for again. I hate saying that, man, but they've given up. You know, they decide to just work at these jobs and not get married, not care about anything. Right or wrong, it was their decision, but I was just letting you know what's going on with the generation I grew up with. Anyway, across 3 different experiments in 5 sample populations, grubs, and it seemed found a consistent pattern in millennials. Not only they're uniquely narcissistic and entitled, but also take the qualities of the negatives. Absolutely. Again, hard times breed hard men. Soft times breed soft men. Okay, you want hard men. Okay. You know, in a way, maybe we do have our generation of hard men being raised since we see what's going on outside in terms of like the homeless and the jobless and the dudes who aren't getting married. Maybe what's going on with Generation Z is they understand and see what's going on. I don't know. We'll see. The older generations are much more narcissistic than themselves. The younger generations think their own generation is slightly more narcissistic. And it's a good view, you know. Yeah, they are. I agree, we are. Anyway, kids these days argument. Grubbs is careful to note that the study didn't quantify the harm being done when their elders call them entitled. Okay, so they don't know the conclusions, I guess. What is the occurrence like? What's the outcome of being called entitled? The outcome is them suing and them crying like babies, and then getting people kicked off of Twitter or Facebook or YouTube. That's what they do. That's their solution to everything. Cry to Big Daddy corporate or Big Daddy government, rather than say, "Oh, sticks and stones break my bones, but words won't hurt me." They've lost that phrase. Okay. Anyway, I won't pound too much more into this because this seems to be talking about the same thing over and over and over. some quotes here and there. Meta-analysis. Okay, meta-analysis. Struggle perfectionism more than previous generation. Facts of a mental health. Okay, all right, nonsense. Warren 1500 printing press. At least I imagine torrent of information. However, patronation. I've grown up with constant pressure. These are nonsense. All right, all right. Anyway, there's no greater pressure than going to war and facing death. Okay, and that's maybe what really happened to the millennial generation after Vietnam, I guess. But they were also raised by the hippies, and their hippies were essentially pawns of the communists. So maybe that's what really occurred here. Who knows? Anyway, I thought it was an interesting article. Again, this is something called Puckerworthy. I assume again it's could be Firefox. Could be a bunch of different sources where I found this at. But anyway, it says Inverse. I assume that's the place, and Peter Hess is the writer. All right, take care, share, save, subscribe, thumbs up, the usual story. Hope you found something interesting, something fun, something enjoyable, something informative. All right, share, save, subscribe, thumbs up.